G'day, good afternoon. I hope you're all well, and I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. This is a FTX full market scan. Normally Craig does this, but Craig is having, he's got a sick daughter, unfortunately, on her birthday, so he'll be off looking after her. So we will crack on into this FTX scan and see what we can find. This is my second scan for this morning, sorry, today. So yeah, there wasn't too much this morning. We're just waiting for more direction to come in. So yeah, if you don't have a FTX account, then feel free to use the link in the description below and you'll receive 10% off your trading fees. And throughout this video, if you do have any questions, feel free to throw them in the questions box and I'll do my best to get around to answering them. All right, let's have a look at Bitcoin on the daily. Still sideways. Been sideways for quite some time now. The 4 hour, we're just bouncing off this support level. We tried to break through, couldn't do that. So now we're moving up, and yeah, I think we'll start testing this $30,700 level again. And yeah, I don't think I'll be looking to trade Bitcoin until we're out of this range. So if we break lower or break above this. G'day, Bobby. Yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, so I think yeah, wait for Bitcoin to break out of this range before we look for long trades, short trades, whatever. But at the moment, I think you're risking, you're risking too much taking trades while we're ranging. We might see some nice trends forming on this 2 hour time frame. Higher highs and higher lows forming. You may, if you're that way inclined, you may be able to jump in and grab a lower time frame trade. But my trade plan says that I won't trade against the daily time frame, and at least we need at least a 4 hour trend. So on Bitcoin we don't have that 4 hour trend. We're just grab walking really, or just moving up a little bit. So we just need that trend. 1 inch. Sorry, I'll throw both time frames up. So daily on the right, 4 hour on the left. The reason I do this is because of that, what I just said. I won't trade unless there's a daily trend or a 4 hour trend. Most tokens are just moving sideways on this daily. So we can look lower, have a look at the 4 hour. If there's no trend on the 4 hour, I'll just skip it. So 1 inch, similar to Bitcoin, almost in a range, moving sideways on the daily, and the 4 hour is just very sideways. So no trades for us there. AVPER, the daily's moving up, higher high. It looks like we've got a higher low forming. Not an uptrend just yet. We need to break the previous high before I would classify that as an uptrend. The 4 hour, yeah, nothing really there. We're looking for nice trends on that 4 hour, preferably to the downside because the daily is moving down, but we'll see what we've got. ADA is not looking too bad, still trending down. We're just pulling back into that daily cradle zone. The 4 hour, we had a level in here I was keeping an eye on, a nice pullback to that level on the 8 or 12, I think it was. Let's look at the 12. Yeah, back in that cradle zone off a level. Didn't get that, we've broken through, so good thing that didn't set up. But yeah, nothing really there on Cardano. It is interesting that we have broken out of this, this level, I guess, but just keep in mind that we are pulling back into that daily cradle. MACD needs a lot more work before any trades will set up there. Adventure Gold, nothing there. Alchemix. If anyone that's watching, if I do skip past something you want me to have a good look at or explain what I'm looking at, just let me know. But the reason I'm just skipping is because 2 reasons. There's no daily trend and there's no 4 hour trend. Like Alchemix, nothing here. Algo. Pulling back into that daily. We do have a level in here. We didn't get that pullback to that level. Let's have a look at the 8 and the 12. We do have a trend. I don't like the look of the MACD. I think we can skip that. Alice, So Alice is one that a lot of our community members were in on the daily, I believe. We did have a nice pullback into the daily cradle zone, entry, stop, got 1-to-1. We had a nice stop move there this morning, and you'd be stopped out for a small profit right now, but nothing there on Alice at the moment. Alpha, sideways on the daily, very sideways on the 4. Alt daily is overall, still in a downtrend. We broke the previous low, so we're still in a downtrend, just pulling back into that daily. The 4-hour, we did have a trend, right? Higher high, higher low. We pushed up. We had a level through there. I was watching this morning. We did have 3 test pullback break. So if you did take that, I believe that was not a bad breakout setup. I was hoping for a pullback onto that level. We haven't got it. We just punch through. This is exactly what you want to break out to do. Test, 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 and then just punch through that resistance level. But yeah, nothing there on alt perp now. Hey Jacko. Ample 4, sorry, completely sideways on the daily and the 4. Nothing to trade for us. 8 coin. Bit of a messy daily chart. 4-hour, higher high, higher low. We've broken that previous high on the 4. Not the best looking trend, so I wouldn't be looking to trade that. Some of these tokens I will go to these lower time frames just to see what's there on the 1, the 2-hour time frames, because I know some people are that way inclined to trade those time frames. Nothing there for us. We've another one we're watching for a breakout. We did have a few tests. We have broken through. A pullback to that level might be something worth looking at, but again, you're trading against the daily time frame. And the 4 hours not trending, so we can leave that. ASD, very thin and sideways. Atlas, much the same, pretty much sideways and no 4-hour trend. Atom. Daily still there. The 4 hours a mess. Let's have a look a little bit higher. Yeah, nothing there on Atom. Audio, mostly sideways on the daily. Had a nice level here for a breakout. It did trigger, but now we're back sort of in this ranging area with no trend. AVAX, lower low, lower high, lower low. Pulling back, MACD, does it agree? No, it does not. 4-hour, 2-hour. So we've got a trend on the 2, trend on the 4. It's a pretty nice looking trend on the 2. That's why it's in the list, just because of this trend, right? Again, against the daily time frame. So if you are looking to take long trades right now, it's very, very risky. But I know that some people do trade these lowers, even if it is against the daily. So that's why that one is in the list. How do I set up my watch list in alphabetical order? So there's a website called I think it's Sandwich Finance. You can jump on there. You can download watch list, like the FTX perp list, download that onto your desktop, and then upload it onto TradingView, and it's all in alphabetical order. Failing that, I think you can do it with this symbol chart, symbol tab thing here. Axie, daily is a mess. 4-hour, nothing there for us. Badger, very sideways. Make sure we've got that 4-hour up. Balancer, still downtrending. Pulling back on the 12. I think we can skip that. I don't think we're going to have a huge watch list at the end of this scan, just because we want really nice trends. And if there's only a handful of tokens throughout this whole perp list that are trending, then it's still a little bit risky. And we just want to take those perfect trades, those perfect setups with the high probability outcome. Nothing there on band. Hey, look at that, very thin. Nothing there. Bat. Still trending down, bounced off this level. 4 hours not looking great. Nothing there for that. BCH, or Bitcoin Cash, sorry. Pulling back. MACD is very divergent, so nothing there for us. No 4-hour trend. No worries, mate. Let us know how you go with Sandwich Finance. They do keep their lists up to date quite regularly, which is something I do on the first day of every month. So re-download the FTX perp list. BNB pulling back, a bit of a messy trend on that daily. 4-hour, high, high, low. I mean, technically it's a 4-hour trend. A little bit of a level through here. Do need a better looking trend though for that trade. I think we can skip that. BNT pulling back to divergent though on the daily. So we're seeing a lot of divergence on the MACD against the price action. So I'd like to say that that's a signal of a trend reversal. It's not really. It's one point of a trend reversal, but I wouldn't go trading based just off the divergence of price action and MACD. I wouldn't be, looking for trying to pick bottoms just based on those two indicators. BNT, not really a 4-hour trend. No, seems to be a bit of buying coming in this morning, which is good to see. Nothing there on the daily. This is where it really pays to be patient, right? You do your scan, you see a lot of green, and you think, oh yeah, we're going up. This is the bottom's in. We're going up. I want to take a very subpar trade while it's still low and ride it all the way to the top, and it just doesn't happen. Just does not happen. I'd like to, I wish that it does happen to anyone that's happy to take on that risk and hope for that, but 9 times out of 10 it doesn't do that. C98 is a mess. Pancake swap. Messy daily trend, right? We want a clear set of higher highs and higher lows. We don't have that. Do we have it on the 4? No, we don't, so we can skip that. Silo, same thing, very sideways on the daily. Nothing there. Chromia. Bounced off support. We're watching for a breakout off this level. We didn't get that. It's just bounced off support, pushed up. The daily, not in a trend, completely sideways. 4-hour, same thing. We can skip that. Chili's is the same. I know it's frustrating watching scans where myself, Craig, or Lou, we're just going through, going skip, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. I do normally like to look a lot lower, but looking in my past trades, if there's no daily trend and no 4-hour trend, yeah, there might be some setups on these lower time frames, but they just they don't work out that often. And it's a good rule to have that you only trade in the direction of the daily and the 4, and they need to be trending. 22 to 24K Bitcoin. Yep, I can. I'll just finish the scan and then we can come back and have a look at Bitcoin, and I'll give you what I think of Bitcoin sort of as an investment point of view. Convergence still daily trend is going down, but MACD divergent, 4-hour, nothing. It's good to hear. It's good insight. That's good. It does make trading, I shouldn't say boring, but a little bit boring, especially when there's no trades for weeks on end. But once you've done this for a few years, you'll understand that sitting on the sideline when markets are crappy and jumping in, spending time doing scans and trades when the markets are moving, it's the best. Just knowing when to sit out is a hard skill to learn. No real trend on the 4 on crypto.com, CRV. Need to break that previous high before the daily's in an uptrend. The 4 hour, not really, bit of a messy trend. CVC, very sideways. The 4 hour, look at this, just messy. Like, look at this 4 hour trend. It's a good example of what can happen on some thinly traded markets. You know, you might look at taking a nice trade through here somewhere. Let's say it's a pullback into that cradle zone. You get entered in almost at 1-to-1, and then bang, it's huge wicks up. They stop you out and then continue on. That's why it's important to look at the liquidity on some tokens before taking a trade, especially if you're trading with a half decent account size. Dash sideways on the daily. I might be sounding like I'm repeating myself. This is how I do my scan every morning, even if I'm by myself, talk it through, look at the daily, you know, daily, what's the daily trend doing? What's the 4 hour trend doing? Do I look lower? If it's a no, then, you know, most times I don't go lower. DeFi. Still a daily trend, right? Pulling back, MACD, very divergent, so there's no trade there. Test, bit of a level through here. We've broken through that level, so that level can go. We do have a higher high and a higher low on the 4, so we can look lower. Not a bad looking trend on the 2. A pullback, would I take a trade on the pullback? I'd like it to be backed by a level. You know what, we can probably put that level back in. Is it a round number? Not really. This is one of those ones where it's a bit of a trend forming, you know, a series of higher highs and higher lows on this 2 hour. The 4 hour, you know, higher high, higher low. We've pushed up, we've broken the previous high, we're in an uptrend on the 4 against the daily trend. Would I take a long trade? If that's set up, look, I'll throw it in the list. I will keep an eye on that throughout the day. I know trading these timeframes, you know, trading against the daily is not everyone's cup of tea, but you know, some people it is. Nothing really there on Dent. Dodo, very wicky. I would not trade that. Doge, sideways on the daily, and the 4. Dots. Not really a good looking trend on the daily or the 4. Dragon, we're pulling back into that cradle zone, but no real trend. I know it's not an exact level, but you know, taking a step back and having a look, this is mainly ranging, right? Similar to Bitcoin. Yeah, we tried to break out, we couldn't do it. Through here as well. So any, you know, trading within a range like this is quite risky. There are range traders out there that do that, you know, buy off resistance, sell off support or whatever. That's just not me. DYDX, messy on the daily. What's this 4 hour look like? Nothing there, even. Needs to break this previous high before in an uptrend on that 4. Nothing there on Elrond engine. Nice daily trends. MACD very divergent. 4 hour, no trend on the 4. Let's have a look at the 8. I have a bit of a downtrend going on here. But not really. Need to break this previous high. So ENS, yeah, it might look like it's in an uptrend. We need to break that previous high. We do have a higher low, but until we get it past this previous high, we're not really in an uptrend. EOS sideways. God, we asked 2.7%. ENS almost 6.5%. It's a lot of buying. Probably because we are in that bottom range of Bitcoin. ETC. An uptrend there on the daily. Looks a bit thin. Let's have a look. I know. So look at this, we're starting to see some really nice trends on these lower time frames. It's just very unfortunate we don't have the trend on the 4. But if you are, going along with this scan, doing your own, and you don't mind trading these lower time frames, even if there isn't a trend on the 4, then feel free to look lower. There is a few trends forming. ETH, very divergent on that daily. Let's have a quick look at ETH. So similar to Bitcoin, we had a nice support level through here. I think I've mentioned this a few times. Around the $1,700 mark, where historically we've tested and rejected. And then this happened, start of May, and we're doing it again. Quite evident on the daily, the 8-hour. Look at that, bounced off. If you were looking for long terms on Ethereum, that would be a great spot to buy, in my opinion. Look, it's already up 3.7% today. As far as trading goes, there's nothing really there for us at the moment. So I just reset these charts. I mean, what a bit of a daily, 4-hour trend. Yeah, not really, a bit of a level through there. But we'll leave Ethereum in the list because it is always in the list. Same as Bitcoin. Divergent on exchange. 4-hour trend is there. Another one with a little bit of a level through here. Test, test, test. Pull back to that level. Would be pushing it. Most likely the 4-hour. We have got a high, low, broken the previous high, pull back. The moving averages need a lot more work to do, but will it make the list? I don't think it'll make the list. There's nothing there at the moment, and if we do scans later on today, we'll pick that up. You have a short on ETH, take profit at 1700. Oh, really? Must have been close to hitting that take profit. FLM, daily, divergent. We don't really have a 4-hour trend either, so we can skip that. Flow. Divergent again on that daily, and no 4-hour trend. Phantom. High, low, high, high, another high, low. Daily uptrend on Phantom. Not the prettiest, but it's there. And yes, we had a level. This is one I was watching this morning as well for a breakout. Test, test, test. We've got that breakout. I think a pullback to that level. I definitely want to know about that, so we'll keep that in the list. FTT. Not the best looking daily trend. If that pulls back, we get a bearish candle in that cradle zone, then the MACD is still divergent, so nothing there. 4-hour, bit of a trend forming there. Let's have a look at the 2. Another one, we had 2 tests. I was hoping for a pullback, but you can get that. That's just shot up. So let's have a look lower. Yeah, not even trends on the 15. So yeah, FTT doesn't make the list. Gala. Gala's sideways and no trend on the 4. GRT is pulling back on the daily, but divergent, and nothing there on the 4. Nothing there on Hedera, HNT. I'll start picking up the pace now, and that you know what I'm looking at. Nothing there. I'm just looking for, most of these tokens are divergent on the daily, so I'll be looking for mainly trends on the 4. Holy in the list, we had 3 tests. 1, 2, 3. Didn't get a clean pullback, and it looks like it's a bit thin as well, but a pullback to that level I'll want to know about that, and that's what's in the list. Holo. I think there's better trends out there. HT perp. Humanscape. Very sideways on that daily. We can skip. IC perp. No trend on that 4. I can probably delete that level. ICX. Yeah, nothing there. IOTA. Bit of a trend there on that 4. Test, test, test. Need that pullback to that level. Failing that, just a standard pullback would be a cradle option. But again, this daily is still trending down. So if you are looking to take that, reduce that risk in accordance with your trading plan. Nothing there on Carver, Kin, very sideways. KBT, had that in the list, we're watching a level, it's gone now. So we can take that out. KNC, we can skip that, no 4-hour trend. Kilo daily, yeah, we can delete that level, that's a mess. KSM, no daily trend, no 4-hour trend. Leo, nothing there. Nothing there on Lena Link. Oh, not really a trend there. I think we can skip that. We've got better looking trends. We don't want a huge watch list. LRC in an uptrend. Let's have a look lower. Yeah, no trends there, so we can skip. LTC or Litecoin. God, there is a lot of buying coming in. 4% on Litecoin. We do have a 4-hour trend. Let's have a look lower. Anything there on the 1, we can have a look at the 15. You know, if you've done the course and look for boosters, I don't think we'll have anything at the moment. We might actually have some trades this afternoon. If we see continued buying and then some selling off this afternoon, we might have some nice setups for tonight. Maps, yeah, nothing. Matic, 4-hour needs work. We had that level in there on Matic on the daily, hoping for a pullback to that level. Didn't get that, it's broken through. Mana still in a daily downtrend, but the MACD is divergent. And no 4-hour trend. Nothing there. Nothing there on here. Mid perp. A little bit of a level. It's going to be a huge pullback if we do get that. So we can leave that for now. Maker, we do have a 4-hour trend. Nothing there at the moment. Nothing there on Mango, NTA. Nothing. Metal. Bit of a level forming. If you haven't done the courses and you know what a breakout is, then you'll know what I'm looking at here, but there's nothing there at the moment. MVTA. We do have a 4-hour trend. The 2's trending nicely. We can throw that in. 2-hour trend, high, 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 low. Again, another pullback on that 2. The 4-hour backs it up, and the moving averages will be in the right order, so we can throw that in the list. Near divergent on the daily. Delete that level. OKB, divergent on the daily. Do have a trend on that 4. Let's have a look at the 1. No real trend. Nothing there on 1. ONT. Nothing. Very sideways. Oxy. Very thin and very sideways. Gold. Perp. Daily is very sideways. And no 4-hour trend. Paulus. Very thin. Nothing there on Priv. Palm. Very thin. Pundi. Yeah, nothing there. I just did the sandwich financing. Awesome. So you downloaded it onto your desktop and then upload it onto TradingView. Works pretty well. Qtum, nothing there. Ramp, nothing. Ray, right, we've got a 4-hour trend, but that daily is solid. You can have a look lower. Oh, awesome. Good to hear. Yeah, nothing there on Ray. Reef. Nothing there. Render. Not the best looking trend. Look. No. Rose, nothing there. RSR. Nothing there on Rune. Seer coin, very sideways. Look at that. No trades there. Serum, this is an interesting one. Still in that daily trend. Unfortunately, MACD is divergent, so hoping for a cradle here on the daily. Back to that level, we don't have that. We're not going to have that. We do have a 4-hour trend though. On that 4-hour trend, we've got that higher low, higher high, so we can look lower. I'd love to find a breakout if it sets up perfectly, but it would definitely be a reduced risk. Nothing there on Seco though. Shiva. Nothing there. Shit, very sideways. Divergent on the daily. I tell you what, I love seeing divergence across these daily time frames. It'd be really nice to see some buying come back into the markets this week. But you know, the markets never cease to surprise us. We think it's going one way and it goes the other. SNX. Do you have that 4-hour trend? Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait for pullbacks now. Delete that level, nothing there, spell. Sideways and sideways, Serum. Yeah, nothing there. Did anyone in this group catch any trades last week? If you did and they worked out, well done. You will absolutely kill it when the markets start moving in the right direction. Yeah, nothing there. Sushi, higher high, higher low. Daily uptrend. Let's have a look at this 4. Got a daily uptrend as well. No real trends though on these lowers. So we can skip that. Nothing right there. TLM. Nothing there. Toncoin. It's one that may set up this week for a daily if we get a nice, a bit more buying coming in. Bearish candle in that cradle. This is a great example of conflicting timeframes. The daily is still in a downtrend. MACD agrees, but then you look at the 4. We've got a higher low and a higher high. So this is where, in my trading rules, the daily trumps the 4. So I wouldn't take a long trade just based on this 4-hour time frame, because the daily is still pushing down and still valid. I short on XMR now. Let's have a look. It's coming up. Do cradle trade on XMR. Nothing there. Bilera is very thin. Nothing there on short uni perp. A few levels drawn in here. I think we can delete those. They're voided. Daily does, it's mostly sideways. Do have a higher high and a higher low. Some people don't call a pullback a one candle pullback. Completely up to you. I generally don't. I'd like to see 3 candles in a pullback, because sometimes it's just a bit of a flash crash. We can skip that. Uniswap. Nothing there. VeChain. Bounced off this support level and just shot up. Waves. Okay, so you just short XMR with no strategy. Daily on XEM, unfortunately, that's divergence, so there'll be no trade there. Delete that level. Stellar Lumens, or Stellar now. Nothing there, XMR. So short XMR, okay. Short XMR, what is going on? So we've got a higher high, a higher low, higher high, a new higher low. We're in a solid uptrend on the daily. Let's have a look at the weekly. Weekly is not really telling us much. We've got a combination of highs and lows, so it's generally sideways. Daily though, uptrend, 4-hour. Yeah, we are in a solid daily uptrend, so that's just my thoughts on XMR. Nothing really lower. XRP. Nothing there, we didn't get that set up. XTZ, nothing there either. Got DeFi money, just a huge sell-off. I hope no one holds that long term. It's pretty sad to see DeFi money follow what Luna did. Just sell off, lose. It's not as bad as Luna, but still pretty bad. So we won't be trading that. Yeah, that's right, Bobby. Best strategy around there. Sorry. I use the cradle trade all the time. It's probably my main strategy. And then the other two, the other two are great, but there are some scenarios where you can mix all 3 together, and they're your highest probability trades, I should say. Zilper, nothing there. We've got a level. Needs a lot more work to do. And ZRX, building down into that level. No real 4-hour trend though. Bitcoin. So we were chatting about Bitcoin earlier. What are my thoughts on, what was it, the 22 to 24K Bitcoin? Let's have a look at the 4-hour. The weekly, sorry. Look, 22 to 24K. I think this support through here is just so strong. We've held for a while now, and it's a round number of around $30,000. I think if we see again, market will do whatever it wants to do. But if we do see 22K, it doesn't look like it's hung around that 22K, 24K mark for very long. Just this small blip back here. So it's hard to say on a tech analysis point of view that there's any support there. That just doesn't look like there is. No support there. I think most people have their buy orders set around this area. As we can see, we've come below this point. Not that, a handful of times and it's just shot back up. Buyers have pushed the price back up, pushed the price back up, pushed it back up. We've spent very little time below this level. And I know I've said this before, but this was similar to this time back here between May and July. What is it now? It's May now, so exactly a year later. Almost to the day, isn't it? So how long do we spend here? So from May, July, so 2 months. 2 months we spent banging around this support level around the $30,000 mark where we broke below. I'll just throw a level in here to make it a bit more clear. Broke below, got pushed back up. We hung around, we came down, we tested again, and we just kept bouncing off this level, and then the buyers finally came in, sellers got exhausted, buyers came back in, pushed the price back up. And that's similar to what's happening now. But we've only been in this for how long? A couple of weeks. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing something like this drawn out over a few months. I hope it doesn't happen, but history shows that it probably will. We've bounced below these levels, pushed back up. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more buying, but I don't think this is the bottom. I think we need to hang around here. Spend some more time in this pain threshold. Wash some more people out that just aren't accustomed to bear markets. They've never lived through a bear market. They're probably underwater. Their portfolios are underwater. They're in pain, and they're probably looking to sell. And what happens when when people sell, price drops, buyers think that's a bargain. People that'll live through bear markets, people that are waiting to grab a bargain, they're going to buy and push the price back up. That's my theory. But again, market will do whatever the market does. We can't really control it. But that's the scan for today. Bit of a list of a few lower time frame trades to keep an eye on. We do have a lot of divergence on the MACD against the price action, so keep that in mind. I think we're going to have an interesting week. I'd love to see Bitcoin break out of this range and move higher, and I'd love to see everything follow. But would I? Yeah, I'd be looking for long trades, 100%. But hoping for runners, probably not. I think we'll stay in this range for a little bit while. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. There's no questions, no worries at all. Yeah, so a bit of a list to keep an eye on this afternoon. If you are in the community, I'll continue doing scans and throw some things in there if anything comes up. And oh, you'd rather see the market fall, Bobby? Yeah, look, to be honest, I just want to see some good momentum, if I'm honest. It does look like we're seeing some now, some buying momentum, but we'll see. We'll be ready. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll chat to you guys soon.